Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. Today's story includes wedding drama, homophobia, problem between sisters and toxic relationship. Let's start. Am I the idiot for not having my niece be the flower girl at my wedding? I am bi, hence the name. I am a woman, the person I am engaged to is also a woman. This is relevant because my sister, Amanda, hates both things. She and her husband, John, are both homophobic, so during the process of planning our wedding party, for our wedding next May, the idea of having my niece be the flower girl was never even brought up. Instead, we pretty quickly chose my fiancé's little cousin for that role. My sister found out that her daughter isn't going to be the flower girl, and is absolutely livid about it. She insisted that my fiancé, Jane, had, quote, forced me to choose her cousin over my niece, that my niece was the obvious choice, and I should change it. You may say, why not just have two flower girls? Well, I suggested that, as a compromise to Amanda, but she hates that idea too. The main issue I have with making my niece the flower girl is that I can't be sure she will even be there. To be honest, I didn't even know, until recently, if they would even come to the wedding at all. Still not sure honestly, their tolerance levels fluctuate on who they've been around, and even if they did, I would have assumed they wouldn't want their daughter a part of it. Who knows, if everything will be fine leading up to the wedding, and then on the day, Amanda and John decide to be homophobic? I know I sure don't. Somehow, my sister has gotten my parents on her side, and my mom says I'm being bitter, because I wasn't invited to my sister's wedding. I'm pretty sure that that's not it, though I was hurt at the time, to not be invited, and part of me still is. But I don't think I would try to punish my niece over it, which seems to be what my mom is trying to imply. OP share more info in the comments. Also, why is your mom not okay with you having two flower girls? Oh, no, sorry, my mom thought the two flower girl option was fine. But, she adores my niece, which is fair, I do too. So I know that her bias has at least some part to do with her siding with my sister. And to be fair, my mom also was upset about me not getting invited to my sister's wedding. Why is your homophobic sister even invited to your wedding? I didn't come out until I was 20. And she was my best friend, up to that point. Like I said, their tolerance fluctuates. Some days are better. It's been almost 10 years, and I just got used to it, I guess. It helps that no one else in my family is the same way, but I also hope she stops being that way someday. No. You are not the idiot, because you didn't ask your homophobic sister and her homophobic husband, who didn't invite you to their wedding, by the way, to let their daughter be the flower girl at your wedding to another woman, as they are homophobes. Duh. Look, I get that it would be great that OP's niece was the flower girl. OP would like that, the rest of the family would like that, and I think the niece would too. But unfortunately, due to her parents' previous attitudes, we can't trust whether they will even show up at the day, let alone actually let her be part of the ceremony. And honestly, it's a risk I wouldn't like to take, and I don't think OP would either. Unfortunately, this could also be their plan, to damage OP and her fiancé's wedding somehow. So if you want to please your sister, because, who knows, maybe this could be a peace offering, you should continue offering the idea of two flower girls, and if the sister doesn't accept it, so be it. But just having OP's niece as flower girl is an unnecessary risk. Also, does the homophobic brother-in-law know that his wife offered their daughter to be part of a wedding between two women? Because if not, this is once again looking like a crappy plan to ruin OP's wedding. Oh God, I can just imagine this guy invading the place, looking for his kid, causing a commotion, fighting with everyone, and ruining the wedding. So, not the idiot OP, your sister and brother-in-law are the ones who are. And what did you guys think of this situation? What would you do if you were OP? Now let's read what the comments have to say before going to the update. Not the idiot. You were more than gracious by offering to have two flower girls. The fact that they demand their daughter be the only flower girl suggests it's just a power play against your fiancé. Pulling one over on her, by getting her pick for flower girl ousted, not a sincere desire for their daughter to be included in your joy. The fact that they don't actually support your marriage, aren't rooting for your success as a couple, and didn't even invite you to their own wedding just affirms that you have no obligation to even invite them to your wedding, let alone change your ceremony to suit them. Not the idiot, but also why is your homophobic sister was even invited to your wedding? You don't need that kind of toxic BS around you, for a day of celebration of your love. Gross, I hope she stops being so awful someday. Not the idiot. Good God, why are these people even invited to your wedding? She didn't invite you to hers, but thinks you should make her kid your flower girl, over the kid who already has the position? Entitled, homophobic and totally the a-hole. Not the idiot. Your wedding day is a day to celebrate with loved ones. You sister and her family are not people I'd want at my wedding. Not the idiot. Your wedding, your decision. Awfully nice of you to offer 2 flower girls, so your niece could be one, but you don't owe your homophobic family anything really. Congratulations. Info, why weren't you invited to her wedding? Why the hell is she even invited to yours? Even if she's only occasionally homophobic, she shouldn't be there. Not the idiot, obviously. And what do you guys think of this situation? Do you agree with the comments? What would you do if you were OP? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Oh, are you enjoying the video so far? If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. This really helps the channel, so I appreciate it. Now let's go to the update. Update, am I the idiot for not having my niece be the flower girl at my wedding? Hello everyone. A few years ago I posted this here on Am I the Idiot, about my sister making a fuss about my niece not being the flower girl at my wedding. No one has asked for it, but I wanted to share this update anyway, because you guys really helped out a lot. So, I took a few people's advice about having both my niece and my then fiancé's, now wife's, cousin being the flower girl, without letting my sister know there would be 2. The day of the wedding arrived and only my sister and niece showed up, brother-in-law was nowhere to be seen. My sister was a little surprised about the 2 flower girls, but then surprised me even more by talking about how having 2 was such a cute idea. My sister was super sweet all through the reception, and I felt like I had my old sister back, which was so nice. We had a chance to talk, in a way that we hadn't in years, and we spent a little time going over the whole flower girl thing, and my sister was embarrassed and apologized. Without getting too much into things, my sister left my brother-in-law a few months after our wedding, and she confided in me that part of her decision came from seeing how differently my wife interacted with me and our family members when compared to her husband. Basically, my ex-brother-in-law was not a good person to my sister, an understatement, and she is so much happier now. She's like she was at the reception, like my old sister, who is full of life and caring and sweet, and an absolutely awesome mom. But the biggest reason why I wanted to share this update was because my sister and I have had a lot of long talks since the wedding and the whole flower girl ordeal. All of it stemmed from my ex-brother-in-law and his a-holishness. He did plan on causing a scene by not allowing my sister or my niece to come to the wedding. I knew it. Apparently, it was like a 3-hour fight before my sister was able to leave for the ceremony. The biggest surprise came when we had a long talk after her divorce started. Me, my sister and my sister kept asking a lot of questions, most of them centered around us being women who are bi, or attracted to women. The next night, my sister came out as bi to the both of us. 3 weeks after that, without knowing our sister came out, our younger brother came out to the family as pan. Anyway, I just wanted to thank everyone for their advice and their kind words. I have my best friend and sister back. I am so very happily married to the most awesome woman in the world, and I get to go with my best friend, my awesome wife, and our super cool pan brother to Pride this year. Things get better, and it's okay to give people you love a chance. OP continues to give more information in the comments. I wonder if her ex was poisoning her with internalized homophobia, or she thought it was better to go along with the narrative, if he was that much of a problem to her. That's still an ouch area for us, but 100% because of the influence of X for the no invite. I'll probably be maid of honor at the next one, lol. On a serious note, from our discussions afterwards, there was a lot of internalized homophobia that developed when she was first questioning. It got worse over time. I think my own coming out actually triggered it to get worse, and then she met her now ex, and he really did make it exponentially worse, because he would feed into those internalized feelings, and make her feel worse and worse. And part of her own actions and words were, I'm sure, to play into the narrative that her ex established. It kept the peace at home, behind closed doors, and he got into her head so bad, she probably started believing it herself at some point. I hope she apologized for excluding you from her wedding? Yes, she has. There were a lot of painful discussions and healing that I chose to leave out of the update for the sake of brevity. Maybe I scapegoat my ex-brother-in-law for things that I know my sister did participate in, but again, without getting into it too much, because it is her story to tell and not mine, he got in her head and changed some wires. Fear, manipulation and control can make you do some crazy things, and that man had a way of instilling fear, manipulation and terrible control over her. I only wish that she hadn't had to live like that for as long as she did. And I am so very happy to have her back. Why put the blame on the ex-brother-in-law? Did your sister take responsibility for her part in it? I believe I've mentioned, elsewhere, that I possibly scapegoat ex-brother-in-law more than I should. I know full well that my sister was capable of making the choices that she made, or of making different ones. Years of conversations, and anger, and family therapy, and choosing forgiveness took place, before we could get to the point we are now. My sister was young and hurting when she met her ex-husband. She was a grown adult, yes, but not by much. She was a grown adult when she hurt me with her actions as well, but she was an adult that was going through intense and mind-rearranging abuse. My sister blames herself more than I blame her, trust me. She has apologized and worked to make it back to where she is now. I put the blame on my ex-brother-in-law because he is abusive, manipulative, controlling. He did everything he could to make sure my sister was isolated from the people that cared about her. I put the blame on him because I hate him and I love my sister. I can forgive my sister. I will never forgive that man. Not because of what he influenced my sister to do to me, but because of the things he did to her that put her through so much pain and trauma. I'm probably rambling and not making much sense, but I thank you for your comment. I know it was meant with kindness. So in kindness, I will simply say that forgiveness and blame can be complicated and nuanced things. OP also says, I think people have an amazing capacity to change. They don't always, but they have it. I got a lot of advice to cut her off or to not invite her at all, and I appreciated that, because I knew they were looking out for me, but I knew that somewhere deep down, my sister was still the same person she was when she had been my best friend. It took years for her to get out of the toxic pit she had been in, but she got out. I like to think she would have even without me around, but some days I think she wouldn't have. If I cut her off, it would have fed into the lies of her ex, and the lies her own brain was telling her. Wow, that wasn't a revelation I was expecting. But at the same time, many homophobes are actually homosexual people, who don't accept who they really are, and hate those who do. So who knows, maybe in the future OP will tell us that her ex-brother-in-law also came out of the closet? Who knows? It's possible. Well, I'm glad that everything went well in OP's wedding, and that she has her sister back in her life. And what about you guys? Did you guys ever expect for this update? I certainly didn't. I really hope everything goes well for them and their family from now on. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.